The Mania has started, and you'll find slam dunk savings and selection during our Hoop Mania event at Capitol Ford in Santa Fe. We're celebrating our 60th anniversary all year long, and that means buzzer-beating incentives and special dealer offers, like a new 24 Ford Bronco Big Bend Sasquatch, lease for $499 a month. Or a new Ford F-150, now $1,500 or 2.9% APR during this Hoop Mania event at Capitol Ford in Santa Fe.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of Deep in the Dugout. I'm your host, Ed Nunez, and joining me this evening is former Capital High School basketball star, won a state championship in 2004 with Capital, but also played baseball at Capital and played some college baseball as well, Mr. Eric Moulton. And Eric, thanks for joining me tonight. I sure appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm happy to be on, man. I thoroughly enjoy watching these shows, bringing on local high school talent on occasionally, and I think it's just in due justice. We got to highlight some of these guys and kind of show our local talent off to our viewers and listeners. So glad to be here.
We got a very, very special guest. But Eric, I just got to tell you, I want to give you great compliments about the graphics and, you're behind the scenes kind of guy. And really, to be honest with you, man, we wouldn't have the Pit Press where it's at without you and your commitment to getting sponsors and making the show look professional. So I just want to thank you, man. You do a great job on that.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys jumping on. We've grown quite a bit over the last 2 years, and I'm looking forward to football media days with the Mountain West coming up here in July. And Nick, everyone's kind of contributed. The website's looking good. The content is consistent. I'm just glad with where this is headed and how many viewers we've been getting on. So excited to be a part of it all.
Well, you and Ryan had a great idea. You wanted more Lobo coverage, and I think it probably exceeded far what you thought and where you might have thought where it's going. And you mentioned not done yet. Great content on the Pit Press Plus on our site. Great articles written by my son, by you, by Ryan Tamari. So I think we got a great team. Without any further ado, let's bring on our guest, Eric, for tonight's Deep in the Dugout episode. It's going to be Braiden Reynolds, La Cueva High School baseball. Our guest on Deep in the Dugout is the Cueva Senior Braiden Reynolds, who this season is batting .404 with 7 doubles, 1 triple, 4 home runs, and 25 RBIs. Braiden excels as a first baseman, not pitching this year because of a jammed shoulder. He's committed to play baseball at Grand Canyon University next season. La Cueva is the defending 5A champions. They have a 21-3 record and are the top-ranked team in 5A. Braiden, welcome to Deep in the Dugout.
Sir, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Braiden, what a season you had last year, and we'll get into that. Eric and I will alternate asking you questions in La Cueva, the top dogs again here in 5A, and you have a big doubleheader this Saturday. We'll get into that too. Braiden, the Bears are the defending champions, having another great season. You had 8 RBIs in the doubleheader sweep of Capital on Monday. Bears finished this season Saturday with a doubleheader against district rival Sandia. Tell us a little bit about how you think this season has gone so far.
Season has gone pretty steady, and Coach G always emphasizes how important not only is just the next game. So it's always next game on the schedule is the next best game, and all focus should be on whatever is at the task at hand. And any team in the state could beat you on any given day. And it's just we take everything. We take the little things serious. Everything with Coach G. He's a great coach, and he treats his group well and with respect. So it comes with a price. He's pretty hard on us, and we believe in our guys, and we have confidence on any given day, no matter who's going out for us. It's a special year.
Only 3 losses on the season, and you mentioned Coach Pineda, and we'll get to him later, but it's a commitment to excellence, a culture there at La Cueva.
Yes.
And everybody strives to be where the Bears are. That championship final last year against Cleveland, we'll get to that too. What a wild affair that was. I told you I was doing PA for that game, and man, that game had twists and turns, and the Bears came out on top. Last season, what a season you had last year. You batted .551 with an on-base percentage of .624, 54 hits, 28 20 extra base hits, 9 home runs, 69 RBIs. You were 10-1 as a pitcher with a 2.1 ERA and 61 innings pitched, 61 strikeouts. Bears defeated Cleveland for the state championship. We mentioned a wild affair. Coach Pineda had to be in the parking lot for the final part of that. I couldn't believe that, but you won. The Bears, as we mentioned, defeated Cleveland. You were named the Gatorade Player of the Year. Coming into the 25 season, that's raking, man. That's raking. It is. Coming into this season, what were your goals? Because last year, if you look at it, that's a great season by any measure. And Eric Moulton will have other questions for you to follow up. Okay. But what's your goals coming into the season?
Some of the goals, defensively, offensively, always just trying to get better, stronger, faster. As a team, coming into the season, knowing with the 3 pitchers that are coming back, Dylan Blomker, Everett, and myself, just the amount of talent that's in the program, it's always a good feeling to come back, and always the goal is to try to go back to back as a state champion. So that's still the goal right now, but going into the season, just trying to make everyone better and have the goal in hand is trying to get into May at the end of the day at May 17th.
Which is just around the corner. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that was just the end of the goal, is just try to make it to the last 3 games of the year and go out and just keep grinding and driving. And that's the main goal. But
yeah, what a dream season, kid. That really was. And you're not pitching this year, because of your shoulder, but man, what a season that was. And again, after every season ends, the next one starts, and then you have goals and other things you want to reach. And La Cueva's well on their way to defending that state championship. Go ahead, Eric. Eric, I think you're on mute.
You're right, Ed. My bad. But Braiden, quite the stat line there, man. Really impressive. Congrats to you. I know a lot of hard work goes into putting up those kind of numbers, and the 69 RBIs broke a state record. You did that in your junior season, but you're committed to play at Grand Canyon University next year, but you committed as a pitcher, right? I don't know if you're going to get the opportunity to hit there, or are you going to be a combo player, or what?
No, sir. I committed as a corner infielder, not a pitcher.
Not a pitcher. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Well, even better, you get to bat now. But
love it.
Kind of transitioning into that, then I'm putting up numbers like that, man. You got to consistently be in the cage. Hand-eye coordination's got to be on top of it. Your hand placement, quick barrel to the ball, right? Like, what does your training resume look like? How does your day start when you head into the cage like that?
So when we head in the cage, first off, with G's practice schedule and how it's we do everything and we do everything right, and so there's a bunch of groups. Myself, I start off in the cages off the machine, kind of right away. Kind of work on either breaking balls on any given day. It kind of depends on who we're facing that weekend. With this weekend being Sandia, having a good right-handed pitcher, they'll probably start against us. Has a great slider, good velo with movement. I've been working with breaking balls today. Actually, it was a breaking ball day. Tomorrow will probably be more of a velo day off the machine. But after the machine, probably go back into the second cage and do front toss, start off slow and kind of get the swing feeling right. Kind of most of my thought process is working the other way. My dad's always taught me to go to right center. I feel like it's easier when you're staying inside the baseball. You can see the pitch longer. But then after taking a couple swings off in the cage with front toss and kind of getting the swing feeling good, Coach G or Coach Ray will be throwing BP. So then we'll get 4 rounds on the field. They handle it really well, and the main focus is on staying middle outside, drive the ball the other way, work on hit and runs, work on squeezes, work on everything. Just as a hitting philosophy, I think that's great for us, especially as a team. But just always thinking right center, you're never going to forget how to pull a ball. So that's what G always emphasizes with us. So working the other way, we'll have a good day. So
I clearly know that you're hitting. What can you attribute that to? Because I think growing up, to get to the level that you're at and to have a lofty goal of playing pro ball one day, I think you got to take kind of bits and pieces from coaches that you've worked with over the whole course of your youth career, summer ball. Looked like you kind of played some at Perfect Game and were able to get some national exposure there. What can you attribute some of your hitting habits or your training routines that you kind of plucked from different coaches? What can you say about those coaches and how they kind of impacted your game to where it's at today?
So growing up, it was always my dad. Again, working the right center, and that was kind of the easy way to think about things, is stay inside the baseball. But as baseball progressed and pitchers started throwing harder and started throwing more nasty stuff, you really had to focus in and kind of figure out, go up there with an approach almost all the time. You can't just go up there and guess what's coming. You kind of got to have a little fun, not overthink. You don't want to talk yourself into a slump, but you just want to relax, kind of get your pitch. And I think with the mindset of going to right center to the opposite field, you're already in a good spot by staying inside the baseball. But as for a hitting philosophy, I've been hitting with Jordan Pacheco with the Isotopes. He's got all the nasty stuff, and he brings in a bunch of statistics and stuff like this, and it's crazy. It's mind-blowing, and just taking all that information in of what pro ballers get to see and what MLBers get to see. It's really fascinating, and I love it. It's very interesting to me and how baseball works, and it's very fun. So working with Jordan, kind of dialing in the swing before the season, before he goes off to spring training, and just kind of hitting him up or sending him videos on like, hey, this feels wrong, or like, what can I do to, like, this feels a little different. And he's my hitting coach, and he's guided me through a bunch. So he's been awesome with me and taught me so much from a hitting standpoint. So,
man, that's really fortunate to have someone like Jordan to lean on, someone that kind of put the La Cueva baseball program on the map. Now, Jordan was a year older than I was, and I remember at the time we were playing high school ball, I think La Cueva was ranked #1 in the entire country. Now, you talk about a few future pro ball baseball players on that team, and Ed was joking with you a little bit before we hit record or we started the live stream, but you've also got some guys in your team where you could kind of almost classify this La Cueva squad as a junior college roster, because you've guys got guys going to play at the next level pretty much spread throughout the roster.
Absolutely. There's a lot of talent here. So it's fun.
So sticking with the coach theme here, Coach G he's a well-traveled coach, 7 state championships, widely regarded as one of the best coaches in state history. Not a just recent memory, but what can you tell us about him, his coaching philosophy, the culture that he's installed within the La Cueva baseball program?
It's amazing, and he's a one heck of a coach. 7 state championships. It's amazing what he can do, and he's not only a great coach on the baseball field. He's a coach in life. He's a coach, and he teaches you so much on, like he always says, you're a baseball player 24/7 hours or 24/7, 7 days a week. So he's not just a baseball standpoint, but just in class. He said if you got to do things right up there in the school, getting that stuff done to even think about playing baseball and like having fun on the field. So it's a whole different standpoint from Coach G, and he just preps you for so much, and it's amazing being taught by him and learning from him. So he's nothing but great.
That's good to hear. Now, you spoke a little bit earlier about your teammates, and I just mentioned it just a little while ago. But you're talking guys like Reed Jacobson. He's batting 400 right now with 6 doubles on the year, 2 triples, 8 bombs, and 43 RBIs. Holy moly.
Yes.
And then another guy, Braiden Liker, he's hitting 442, 5 doubles, 1 triple, 11 RBIs. Now, it takes a team to go after a state title, and like it takes a group of guys to kind of pull through in a season and go after the blue trophy. But what's your team's philosophy and kind of approach at the plate when you know that you guys are just kind of loaded from basically 1 to 9?
Yes, sir. I think as a team, our approach is just being always, no matter who's up, being a tough out. You know, you get down to 2 strikes or whatever the count is, you want to make the pitcher work. So at any given day, I mean, facing a good arm on Sandia's side Saturday, you got to make them work. You know, you kind of want to see what the bullpen has, because not a lot of teams have much depth that we do. So our philosophy as hitting is drive the pitch count up, be a grinder, get on the dish, just working the bat, you know. So having guys like Liker in the leadoff spot, not only can he hit, he can drop down the drag, he can sack, he can run. So it's awesome having him. You got Damon Saavedra in the 2-hole, who's a grinder. He's a baseball player. So he gets down to 0-2 count. I mean, he's still, it's almost like it's hard to get him out. You know, he fouls everything. He's just a grinder. Reed Jacobson having a great year, hitting a lot of home runs and just driving a lot of people in. So we try to make it easy on him. You know, he's normally 4 or 5. Try to get on base for him so he can drive us in, because he's smashing the cover off the baseball. So it's fun.
Ed.
You know, Braiden, man, you know, you talk about that lineup and you talk about the approach, you know, soft toss, right center. It's obvious you're a heck of a player. There's no doubt about it. But the coaching, I tease Gerard. You know, I like him a lot. We've got to be pretty good friends. This goes back a couple years ago when I had him on my show, The Sports Desk, and we've just always gotten along. But I think, you know, some people may think, oh, the Cueva, they just roll them out, man. And that's, you know, and we've got to make sure that people know that it's coaching, it's talent, but it's not as if you just go, hey, let's just put the lineup up there. Look at the way you talked about the hitting, the soft toss, right center. There's a lot to it, man. And you're always watching film. Jordan Pacheco, how many people? Wow, I'd love to have that guy teach me, you know, right? And you can send him film. If he sees something in your stance, he's going to tell you. So it's so much more than that. And I think, you know, some people may take Coach Pineda for granted, and we shouldn't. We should not, because he's a heck of a coach. And like I said, even better guy, man. Like him a lot. Good guy. Now, Coach, Eric talked about your hitting. Now, you're not pitching this year. You got a shoulder issue, but Dylan Blomker 5-0 with a 1.60 ERA, 67 Ks. Jack Travis 4-0 with a 3.17 ERA with 34 Ks. One of your pitchers threw a perfect 5-inning game on Saturday. I talked to Coach Pineda about that. Now, we talked about the hitter's approach. Now, you're not pitching this year, but you know about the pitchers. Talk about the staff, the La Cueva coaching staff telling you what's the approach to going after hitters.
So going after hitters, I mean, those guys are nasty. I mean, they all throw gas. They can hit their spots. They're good on any given day, and that just help our case whenever we play whoever. Dylan Blomker, you know, nothing but great. I mean, he's had an outstanding season. He's thrown the ball really well, and just with the stuff he has, I mean, you don't want to get behind guys in counts. I mean, walks kill us, hit by pitches kill us. I mean, you're giving them free bags. So I think the philosophy is just go after guys, get ahead in the count. I mean, even let your defense work. You know, just stay in the zone for as long as you can, just to give us more of a chance, so you don't drive the pitch count up, give you more of a chance to stay in the game longer. So Dylan's nothing but outstanding. He's a great dude, great baseball player. Jack Travis, same thing. He's a strike thrower. He's great. see, Everett Burdett, as you said, perfect game last Saturday. It was fun. It's always fun watching them pitch because it's almost like it's hard to watch them fail. They just throw strikes, they do their job, and our pitching staff is nothing but phenomenal, and it's fun to watch.
You mentioned you had a heck of a year last year as a pitcher, 10-1, and have you missed it this year, not being able to pitch?
I have. Last year was so much fun because, like when you're hitting, you're playing first, and it's like you get to go on the mound. You get to throw strikes. It's like it's a whole different game. It's a whole different mindset. You get on the mound, it's kind of just you up there. You're relaxed. Try to pump as many strikes as you can. Let your defense work. And I mean, last year our defense was outstanding. So it's almost like even if they did hit it, I had enough confidence from the guys behind me to let them work and be like, okay, well, I'm okay with giving up balls and gaps or whatever, ground balls. Like my team will make plays for me. So it was so much fun. So this year, fortunately, with the shoulder, it sucks not being able to pitch. But I mean, when you have so much depth with the guys behind you and what they've done and stepped up, it's nothing but good things to say about them. And it's still, it's just fun still watching them play.
Well, think about it. You had 10 wins last year, and La Cueva has not missed a beat, man. 21-3 with 2 games left, a doubleheader against Sandia. And again, that's a testament to the depth, and the coaching, because you had to develop somebody else next man up. And again, you were the Gatorade Player of the Year last year, and 10-1 as a pitcher. That's you would miss that. Other staffs can't absorb that loss, man. There's no way they can't. They don't have the depth. But somebody else, stepped in here in spot, and I'm sure they'd love to still have you pitch, but you're still raking at the plate, man. 404 average. You're still doing your job. Eric, go ahead.
Yeah, Braiden, your guys' roster could arguably be one of the toughest rosters in the entire state, if not like the Southwest region of the United States. But can you talk about the coaching staff? Coach G has kind of assembled one of the all-star coaching staffs around. You talk about Alex Story, Ramon Gonzalez, Bill Gracie, Rick Engel, Chad Smith. What have they meant to the success of not only this season and last season, but really just the success of the La Cueva baseball program?
Yes. Our coaching staff is best in the state when it comes down to getting on field, giving us reps, anything, just the preparation that goes into everything that we do. It's nothing but great. And with Gerard, Coach G, Coach Ray, Chad Smith is our pitching coach. Bill Gracie. He's been great his whole life. Even whenever he was refereeing, he's a heck of a coach still to this day. I talk with him the most about hitting and the philosophy and stuff like that. Just having him in the dugout, it's awesome because he knows so much and he's been alive for so long that it's so fun. And but I think the biggest thing from our coaching staff that helps us succeed is just the preparation, scouting guys, scouting who we're going to face, knowing what's next and what we can do to get better. And they're pretty on that. So I believe I'll stand by. I think we're the best in the state when it comes to the coaching staff, and they just do such a good job with everything. So they're great.
I really like Billy, man. Billy, and I've got to be pretty good friends. And I really respect him. He does a heck of a job. And you saying that he's been alive a long time is not another way of you saying that he's old, is it?
Yeah.
That's okay, kid. He's experienced, man.
He doesn't see this because then he's gonna
no. I said it to him, kid. He's a friend. I sent him I texted him saying we're going to be on. Billy's a friend. He's come on our other show, our live show about referees. Because people always blame the ref, right? So Coach Gracie came on to talk about refs and what they're looking at. So he came on our other show. So Bill's definitely going to see it, man, for sure. But he you didn't mean nothing by it. I think that's respect. I think the world of Billy, man. I really do. And I always tease Coach Pineda. I said, man, you got a major league staff here, bro. You got a major league staff, and it's for high school. He's got great coaches, and he's the one that this is his program, and that's obvious. 7 state titles, and he's got some great assistance coaches for sure. This, you saw the show that we had on our first Deep in the Dugout with Adriel Figueroa Brito, who's one heck of a player, just
Great
like
player.
you, heck of a player.
Fantastic, dude.
Yeah, and we enjoyed having him on, and you got a doubleheader against Sandia on
sir.
Saturday, and earlier in the season, and it, you've Mark Hilton does a heck of a job over there. He's a good coach. They've been knocking on the door for a state title for a little bit, and that was even under the late Chris Eaton, and then Coach Hendricks Coach Hendrick took over, and then Coach Hilton. So I got to ask you this one. We asked Adriel. You watched it. We asked Adriel. You close out the season with district rival Sandia this Saturday. On March 22nd, Matadors were forced to forfeit a game because their starting pitcher, Adriel, threw too many pitches. Does this Saturday's doubleheader take on any extra meaning at all?
Absolutely. When it comes down to district, you're thinking of, at least our district, you're thinking of El Dorado, Sandia. It's definitely a big one, and especially they're going to come out hot because, if you take away the rules of baseball, they did win that game, and it was unfortunate for us, but we ended up winning that game on a rule. But it's baseball. You just got to go out there on any given day. Like I said in the beginning, any team, any given day can beat you. Audie's a great arm for them. He pitched really well the last time we faced them. I think it's different now. Both of the teams, when we go against them, they're going to win against us. We want to win against them. It's going to come down to the little things and what we do right. And if we play good baseball, play good defense, hit a little bit, drive his pitch count up, if we just grind ABs against him, I think we'll have a good chance. I'm not dissing on any of those guys because they're all great ball players, and it's always fun playing against them. And that's why it's a rivalry. Everyone wants to win. It's so competitive, and it's going to be a fun day on Saturday. So we'll see what happens.
Should be a nice day for some baseball, no doubt about it. And Adi, as he's known, must have really had it going on that day to shut the Bears down. And again, it was forfeited, and the win went to La Cueva. But he had to have been on his game that day because La Cueva does not get shut out. And again, La Cueva did win that game. But yeah, that's good. That's going to be a very, very good game on Saturday. I'm sure ProView Networks will be covering that. Eric, go ahead. You got one last question.
Yeah, I actually got a few more for you, Braiden. What can you say about this team's overall chemistry? You spend a lot of time together. Me growing up, I was on a state championship basketball team in high school. Baseball, we made it to the state tournament, didn't quite get to the final game, but those relationships that I had, those were built over the summer. Travel ball, spending a lot of time with each other, kind of off the field. What can you say about this team and the overall chemistry you guys have built? And what can you say about some of your teammates? I'm sure some of them are your best friends.
Yes, absolutely. I'll take it even back to last year. That team chemistry was great. We've known even last year that whole group of guys, we ended up losing to Sandia my sophomore year, their junior year in 2023 to Sandia in the quarterfinals, and having everyone coming back from last year and kind of learning, it takes a team effort, and we got the job done last year. That definitely helped us this year too, because with team chemistry now, it's kind of like you lose 10 guys from last year's squad, and it's like you need people to step up, and the pitching staff is probably one of the stronger points of coming back from this year, having all the guys come back. But as a team's perspective with team chemistry, hanging out every day, making sure everyone is better each day, that just helps us in the long run in the end. If we do the little things right for each other, I think that's what it will take. The team chemistry, team dinners, hanging out after practice, just being there for each other is nothing short of being a team. So it's great hanging out with those guys. I think we're pushing towards the end, and we'll see Saturday. We were a competitive team, and it's a true test. We'll see what happens, but it should be a good day, and it's a testament for our team. And we'll just see. I think we're in a good spot.
Very cool, man. I want to ask you a few questions regarding your summer ball travel. Looked like you played a little bit at the Perfect Game. Now, the Perfect Game and some of that travel stuff was somewhat getting introduced when I was in high school. I played summer ball travel, but it wasn't to the extent that it is now. And now it's very specialized. ABA wasn't around, and ABA is very big now. What can you kind of attribute to being able to play that type of specialized ball, to kind of what led you into getting recruited in college and pretty much giving you the exposure to some of the top talent around the country?
Yes, sir. Definitely when I was a freshman, going to Perfect Game events and getting out of the state of New Mexico and just traveling, playing better competition, all over, because it's a whole world. It's a competitive atmosphere, and just playing with ABA in town, going to the Don Mattingly in Texas, or going to the Fall Classic in Phoenix. A lot of good schools go out there to watch you guys play, because it's a heck of a tournament to go to, and it's only fun, and you get to show off your talent and skills. So it's definitely a grind, going out every weekend, traveling to different states, just showcasing yourself. It's a fun ride, it's just a different life, it's really fun. So it's been a privilege to play for ABA, just to get myself out there, and they've helped me so much with getting recruited. Coach G, everyone I've played for has done their best to try to get me exposure and stuff like that. So truly thankful for everyone that's helped me along the way. So it's been fun.
And making it to play at the college level, man, it's, when you look at the statistic to play at the Division I level, right? Like, it's less than 1% or less than 2% of high school baseball players make it to that level. And to play at Grand Canyon University, that's a big time baseball program. What are you looking most forward to? I know that you still kind of have a lot to play with, to wrap up your high school year, your high school season, a state championship to chase after. But once that's all wrapped up with, what are you looking most forward to? With
Getting out there, going to a new city, meeting, getting ready, just trying to get bigger, stronger, faster over the summer. Hopefully when I get out there, the shoulders will be all good, and we'll be full ramp. But I'm excited to get out there with the coaching staff, with the group of guys, already in contact with some of the guys that are going there, kind of making friendships, and just trying to enjoy the last couple of games we got here. Of course, over the summer, just get bigger, stronger, faster. And when I get out there, just see what happens. Have fun. You're out there for a reason. They trust you, and it's just see what happens. So
I got two more for you, and the last one's going to be a softball question. So what would, now looking back now, what would older Braiden tell younger Braiden when he first started playing baseball? What advice would he give him kind of leading into his baseball years?
Yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, get in the gym early and kind of just keep grinding, watch what you eat, maybe no sodas, that's always nice. But just have fun. It goes by so quick, and just never give up. Just keep grinding. That's what I would tell him.
Right on. And the last question for you, Braiden. Again, thanks for joining us on the Deep in the Dugout. This is Ed and Nick Nunez's show. I'm just happy to be a part of it. But what are the La Cueva Bears this season? What do you guys need to do to bring home the blue trophy?
What do we need to do? I think first off, we need to do the little things right and play as a team, have fun, grind ABs. Pitching staff, keep throwing strikes. Defensively, got to make plays, behind our pitchers. And just overall offense, got to swing the bat. If we can limit the other team to scoring runs, and if we could make good at bats and scratch a couple runs, I think our pitching staff is in a good spot to keep the other team from, excelling. So that's what I think we need to do. Do the little things right always, and just never be intent, and always keep the foot on the gas. So that's what I think.
Well done, man. Good luck to you and the squad. I'll probably
Thank you.
Out down at Isotopes Park. You guys make it that far, I'll bring my 3-year-old, or will be 4-year-old little dude down there. He's getting introduced to baseball too. So, Ed,
Yeah, I got just one more, but Braiden, and just listening to you in this interview, Coach Pineda says 24/7 in baseball, right? But studies, you got to do other things to get where you're at. But just with your long toss, soft toss, right center, your lingo, man, is all work, grind.
Yes, sir.
I love it, man. I love it. You don't get there where you're at and what you accomplished without that grind. And you're going to Grand Canyon, man. And you're already looking bigger, stronger, faster. You're going to have to keep the grind up, right? So when you say when the question was, what does the Cueva have to do? Play La Cueva baseball, you should be okay, right? Culture's been established there. So, and there's teams there that are hunting, man. They're hunting, right? Sandia, Mark Hilton. We asked Adriel. You heard it. And Adriel didn't bite, man. He didn't bite because we did ask him. And he's he's a great kid, just like you.
Great
but
kid.
Of course they want to win. Of course they do, man. They're measured how they play against La Cueva. Everybody's measured that way. That's just the way it is. We're not lying. But I wanted to ask you one question. Anybody in the major leagues now whose game you emulate or you look at and you think, hey, I like that, or a favorite player in Major League Baseball right now?
Right now, being a hitter, it's always fun watching Aaron Judge just demolish baseball. So I'd say from a hitting standpoint, watching him flick balls off his bat, it's ridiculous. So probably him. It's fun watching him hit.
Yeah. He had a great start to the season. The Yankees have kind of settled back down, but you're always going to, I think watching him bat is always a treat because you never know what you're going to get, man. That guy is like you said, big guy, 6'5". And when he puts the bat on the ball, it's see you later, man. So that's good to know. Eric, you got any more questions for our guest, Braiden Reynolds?
We got a few comments from some people tuning in. Joe the Jeweler. I know Phil Grace is an absolute legend in this town when it comes to high school baseball.
Heck yeah.
And the one me, John Romero, you and Ryan's buddy. Great interview. Thank you for doing it, Pit Press. May the best team bring home the blue trophy. Batter up. Good luck, Braiden.
Thank you.
So that's all I get at. I just admit to the viewers. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate everyone. Check out the website. Nick and Ryan and everyone's been writing a lot. So we appreciate everything in there. And maybe we'll throw in a little bit of baseball coverage in there. Ed, what do you think?
I think it's not a bad idea. I think talking to Braiden, when we cover baseball, I cover softball. I cover Western New Mexico women's softball. And so I'm able to talk to the assistant coach after in the box, and he'll break it down, man, pitching, batting, softball. But when you're talking about baseball, it's like, man, okay, so we got I think the viewers and the listeners got an idea of how La Cueva approaches the game.
Yes,
and that's why they're successful, okay? So for everybody that thinks we just roll them out, throw the balls out there, no, at all. So people need to remember that. People don't, they get mad when people win all the time, but there's a reason why. There's a reason. Of course, there's talent, but coaching and approach, all those things have to be a part of it. We're going to wrap it up. My co-host Mike went out. We're going to wrap it up. Our very special guest tonight on Deep in the Dugout was Braiden Reynolds. I'll tell you what, Braiden, even just talking to you on the phone the other day, I enjoyed it, man. We sure enjoyed the conversation this evening. You're a great young man. Got your head on straight. You're going to do some big things, man. And good luck to La Cueva baseball the rest of the season.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you bet. For my co-host, Eric Moulton, I'm Ed Nunez. We'll see you next time on Deep in the Dugout.